What's happening, people? Thanks as always for passing by the channel, much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. Don't forget as well, please, to like and share the videos. Big thank you to everyone who's been doing that so far. You guys are legends. Preview number 3 for October the 15th. There's three quality fights happening. If you haven't seen the other 2 previews, I'll link them in this video at the end. But this one is another good quality fight happening down in Australia in Melbourne. George Kambosos Jr. versus Devin Haney 2. I never actually spoke about the first fight. Was it in June? I don't know why. I must have gone on the radio a bit. I just didn't speak about it. But the pair first met on the 5th of June at the Marvel Stadium down in Melbourne, which I've been to actually. It's a nice stadium. 40,000 people you can get in there. And Kambosos lost by unanimous decision, with Haney claiming the undisputed lightweight crown. Kambosos was talking a lot in that build-up in the first fight. That's one thing I do remember. Now this time he's been completely quiet. I think the fight's gone under the radar as well. Not that many people are paying as much attention to it as the first one. It's also the way with rematches in that if the first fight was close, like, it often makes the rematch a little bit bigger because it's still a bit of a dead heat. It could go either way. Whereas with this one, because the first fight Haney won pretty convincingly, most people are kind of saying, well, the same thing's going to happen again. You know, there's been several rematches like that, you know, where it's just the first fight was just too much of a convincing win that it doesn't really hold that much interest. But you know, Kambosos is only 20-1, and Haney's 28-0 undefeated. This is still a big rematch for both fighters in the direction of their careers. I still think Kambosos is a great boxer. He's got a motive to bring, you know, to win those belts back, to show that he's not just a one-trick pony against Teofimo Lopez or anything like that. You know, the lightweight division is still stacked with so much talent at the moment. It's a very interesting and exciting division. The Devin Haney, look, Devin Haney, has to be honest, he did kind of dominate the last fight. You know, he won, what was it, 16-12, and I think it was 118 at one point, 118-110. I'll have to look at that again. I know it was a kind of steep result though. But that was in June. You know, hopefully Kambosos has made a few changes to his game. He'll be able to bring it all this time. Maybe get a bit of revenge if he's got that motive. You know, it's going to be for all the belts, remember. Like, I think Devin Haney had the WBC belt, and then George had all the rest of them, which he took from Teofimo. So it's a pretty big rematch down in Melbourne. It's a great weekend for boxing as a whole, with so many fights happening at once. It means that, like, you're covered no matter what you like in boxing. If you like heavyweights, the higher the heavy divisions, you go Wilder versus Haney. If you like female boxing, you can go Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall. If you prefer the lighter divisions, you can watch Kambosos versus Haney. But Haney did do a good job of winning that previous fight. His jab was his jab especially, it was what impressed me the most. It was just so direct. He controlled the fight with it. He telegraphed it perfectly. George really struggled with that pressure. And that is, in my opinion, like, I do boxing, I do Muay Thai. I've often said the jab is the most important, like, punch and action towards your ground game, because it almost, like, it can control and win you a fight in one. It's just so important. So I have the view very much that if you beat a man once, you can beat him again. And, like, that's kind of like what I said about, well, I said it about Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder. I said it with Usyk versus AJ. You know, some guys just know how to beat another boxer. It's just, they just know. So because he won pretty handily the first time, there's an argument to say he could win even more convincingly this time, which is why the interest hasn't really been all there. But Haney will be more comfortable fighting down in Australia. He's got his dad down there now. There's a few visa issues, but he's dealt with that. Haney's technique I like, because he's just a composite boxer. Like, he doesn't have scary knockout power like, you know, Gervonta Davis, for example. His natural boxing ability to jab and move is very, very good. Hand speed, combinations, foot movement. He's got good pedigree. He goes in and out. He can counter punch as well. You know, he's an entertaining and good all-round boxer. Kambosos, again, has a lot of those aspects as well. Good counter puncher, but just, you know, his speed as well. His speed was crazy good, but just lacking in some of those combinations and movement. But Kambosos will no doubt be motivated to win back all the belts plus Haney's WBC belts. But can Kambosos beat Devin Haney in a rematch? If I'm George Kambosos, I literally go full Marcos Maidana in this fight, like he did versus Adrian Broner or even Floyd, and I just charge in with headbutts, combinations, hands to the back of the head or neck, whatever you can land. Just land more this time, because that's ultimately what cost you last time. Round one will determine the outcome of this fight for me. Like, if Kambosos really, really wants it, he'll just come in and he will just try a different game, and he'll be more confident and more brave and just bring it to Devin Haney. If he's going to try and outbox him when Devin Haney's the better boxer, I think it's going to be like the same. It's going to be as one-sided as it was last time. But I think Kambosos will put in a more competitive effort. He looked flat almost in that first fight, when I watched it back again. And Haney played him quite easily. So I think because of the previous victory, Haney has the edge. Kambosos needs to change his game plan and most importantly be more aggressive. So I'd prefer Kambosos to win because Haney does some things which I don't like. He's quite arrogant, he said some racist things, he has a massive ego, despite that Kambosos is the only legit boxer he's fought. But he is a talented fighter, so even though I think Kambosos is going to make some adjustments, and he will, I think Haney's just going to be too good for him. I just think it will go to a points decision again. I just think Haney will outscore him. I think Kambosos will win some more rounds this time. I think he will have improved his game. He'll have upped his game and done more and potentially win rounds, but I think that Devin Haney's just too far ahead. So we'll see. And after that, I'll be interested to see where each of them goes, because like I said, the lightweight division is absolutely stacked at the moment. There's so many good fights out there for them. So I think either way, the defeat for either man is not a career-ending loss. So that's my third and final preview for this week. Hope you guys enjoy whichever fight you watch. I know for a fact that I'm definitely going to be watching it. Going to try and watch at least two of them, and I'll watch all three of them at some point or other. So enjoy, and I will see you all next time. Peace.